Peters wants to compensate people who are mandated out of their jobs and vaccine injured. Does Labor support that?
I think Winston Peters seems to be abandoning the older New Zealand demographic that he used to be so keen to court. Older New Zealanders have record high rates of vaccination. They're amongst the highest in the world. And Winston Peters seems to be saying that they made the wrong decision in doing that.
Do you see any kind of value in looking into potential compensation for anyone, disadvantaged through COVID, whether they were mandated out of their jobs or injured by the vaccination program?
There is a process for people who are injured in a medical procedure. There's already processes in place for dealing with that. In terms of the vaccine mandates, I acknowledge that it was a challenging time for people, but they ultimately made their own choices. There was no compulsory vaccination. People made their own choices. In terms of the vaccine mandates, I acknowledge that it was a challenging time for people, but they ultimately made their own choices. There was no compulsory vaccination. People made their own choices. There was no compulsory vaccination. People made their own choices.
Is any of that going to be included in the inquiry that's going on at the moment around COVID? Is it going to look at any of those issues?
The Royal Commission can look at whatever it wants in regard to the COVID response.
So it could potentially look at how many fit been injured, how many were mandated out, and potential compensation for them. That could be looked at.
Well, ultimately, it's a Royal Commission, so it's not my job to direct them. Other than they have a terms of reference which everybody can see, and it's certainly not my job to instruct them what they do within that terms of reference.